Tyson.
You don't think AJ's resilient? You don't think AJ has a chin?
Who has knocked me out like that, like when I'm like this?
No, that is not what they mean. It's like we both are going to look for a knockout.
People underestimate me.
I asked for this fight. I watched him fight, and then I made a tweet.
Why?
Right away. Well, because there was an opportunity. I know that he was going to fight Deontay Wilder, and I saw an opportunity there. I made a tweet to him for this fight. I was calling for that fight.
I'll do whatever it takes. I will be victorious. I have my own legacy, my own chapter, my own destiny that's destined by God.
With his performance against Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou sent a big message to the world of boxing. There's a new force in the heavyweight division. An old force, Anthony Joshua, had a year to remind everyone he still sits firmly at the top table. On March 8th, live on DAZN, old force meets new force as former unified heavyweight champion of the world Anthony Joshua takes on former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou. Before they meet in the ring, they meet here, face to face. This is AJ Ngannou, this is Face Off. Gentlemen, how are we, good?
We're good.
Yeah? This was unexpected. No one thought this was supposed to be the fight. This was supposed to be Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
Sitting here.
Yeah, that was my route.
I saw that.
Yeah, to stick in boxing. They spoke about this fight before, and I said, no, it's a gimmick fight. It's not something that I think is right. Crossing over when I'm still chasing heavyweight glory, you know? And then I think when they saw what happened with his last fight, the situation with Wilder, this opportunity presented itself. But I never turned down a challenge, and I'm looking forward to it.
You called it a gimmick fight then. Is it still that? I mean, this is now you taking on Francis Ngannou as opposed to Tyson Fury when he did. Is it still a gimmick fight?
No, it's the biggest challenge of my life.
It's the gimmick fight. Fight is a gimmick. Overall, I think it's very funny because I think of gimmick fight like, I mean, we are crossing.
Yeah.
This is a crossover, you know.
But you're a boxer now.
Yeah, it's my second fight, my second pro fight.
Yeah.
And then I'm taking on the. So my two first boxing match, I'm taking the top one, the top two of the top three heavyweight boxer in the generation. So quite interesting.
You're going
right?
in at the deep end.
Huh?
You're going in at the deep end.
Yes, yes. But it's good, as you said. It's a good challenge. It's very interesting. I always loved boxing growing up. Didn't have those opportunity since I grew up in Africa. And even when I came in Europe, like 10 years ago, a little over 10 years ago, I always want to stick in boxing, but, you know, didn't have any opportunity around. So the opportunity, MMA came around, and for me, he was an opportunity to like potentially like make my way up and then maybe at some point cross over. And I always have that behind of my mind. And you know, he come to a consecration today.
Yeah, now you've crossed over.
Crossover, I'm a boxer now.
You certainly are, after a really good performance against Tyson Fury. What did you make of that performance? Surprised?
No, not at all. I researched Ngannou and I watched Tyson Fury box a number of times. People claim he's the greatest of many, many generations, but I think if I box Tyson Fury, a lot of similarities will happen in the fight. So I'm not surprised at all. In terms of his style, who Fury is, it's just a boxing match. Well done to both of them. They put on an entertaining fight, but that's in the past. That's how boxing is, and we move forward now.
So where is he as a boxer? I mean, again, we saw that first fight against Tyson Fury. It was his first fight, anything could happen, no one knew what was going to happen. He's
good.
ranked with the WBC now.
He's always wanted
Where
to
is
be a
he?
boxer. He's good. UFC champion. You know what it is?
But not a boxer.
But there's a lot of stand-up game. And in his industry, people have takedown, submission, stand-up, better at kicking. So when he fights, he's fighting people that have aspects that are good in every category. So he might fight someone who's better than him in stand-up. So I've watched people that he boxes that are good at stand-up and how he's dealt with people at their stand-up game. He knows how to box. He's not, in terms of training, you probably do more rounds in boxing than, fair enough, than in the fight, but he knows how to box, he knows his way around. The only difference is one's a cage and one's a ring.
I feel like you're getting a lot of credit now from people saying you know how to box. I don't think you would have got that credit before the Fury fight.
Yeah, but also you also have to understand that people will not believe in what they haven't seen. Like, you just come around with this guy that has a 0-0-0 on his boxing record, and you're telling people that he can box, and nobody have ever seen him in the amateur boxing match or in the Olympics or any type of boxing competition. So it's hard for people to believe, you know, like that he can fight. People goes more about statistics, which sometimes which get them wrong most of the time. I always say, like, if I walk in the bar, I get in the bar, I see a guy who never been in the gym in his entire life. He's coming after me violently. I step back because it's a fight. You don't know what's gonna happen, you know. And somebody will go there and then just his determination throw some punch, and if he catch you, he catches you. You go down. It doesn't matter if you're a boxer or not. So you better be careful, right? And then we get to the moment that I was in the position that I was already on top of my game. You know, MMA, I was a champion. I have like, I have deal with high level competition and then all those experience. And then people were still like, nah, he can't do shit, you know? And I'm like, okay, whatever. Unless we get there that day and find out, I'm not going to explain. You don't explain those stuff. You do, and then people see, and then you just make sure you do good, not get embarrassed, don't disappoint people, or don't make them right. You get excited to prove them wrong.
And you proved a lot of people wrong. I want to go back a couple of weeks to when this fight would have been made. Again, this was supposed to be Deontay Wilder. There are other names mentioned, if not Wilder. Filip Hrgović for that #1 IBF spot. There would have been other names as well. Zhilei Zhang, potentially. Maybe even a rematch against Joseph Parker, the man who beat Deontay Wilder. Why Ngannou?
I wanted to fight for the championship. I wanted to lead my career towards the championship. So, but this is still leading me towards the championship, though. It's still he's a boxer, so I have to win. And when I win, I'll move on to fighting for the championship. That's boxing, snakes and ladders. You win, you go up, you lose, you slide down. So I have to win in order to continue on where I projected in my mind to get to.
It's funny you say that. You win, you go up, you lose, you go down. Ngannou on the books lost against Tyson Fury. Arguably, he's gone back up. So it works in different ways, right?
But what would happen if he won?
A rematch potentially against Tyson Fury, maybe this.
Fight Alexander Usyk?
Potentially.
But
could have
undisputed,
happened.
so you're always going to go up if you win.
Always, indeed.
But there's always big opportunities. This is another great opportunity for both of us.
Did you ever consider not taking this fight? When this fight was offered to you, was it a straight yes?
I called up.
You asked for the fight?
I asked for this fight. I watched him fight, and then I made a tweet.
Why?
Right away. Well, because there was an opportunity. I know that he was going to fight Deontay Wilder, and I saw an opportunity there. I made a tweet. Taking for this fight. I was calling for that fight. I was ready and like, this seems like an opportunity that I can slide in. Again, this is my second boxing match, and I'm fighting one of the best, one of the top 3, after fighting another top 3. So in 2 fight in boxing, I'm going to fight potentially the best in the world. And then something that I disagree with him, boxing environment that has said things like that, make people think like that. I think like when you have a good fight and then you had you fight well, that doesn't necessarily, even if you lose, that doesn't necessarily take you down as you think. You know, like I'm coming out of a loss. Supposedly, we can argue, debate about that, but I'm coming out of a loss, but I still have an opportunity, right? Because I'm not viewing myself as I depend on the win. I see myself as I depend on the fight. What's going to happen? Yes, of course, I want to win, but I can win without really fighting. It's not the kind of win that I'm looking for.
Fights.
Yes, I really want to fight. And when you fight, even when you lose, people want to see you back. And that's how the sport is, because like when two people go to fight, obviously one person gonna come out as a winner, and one person will win and one will lose. But they need a loser to make a winner, so you can. It takes two to tango,
Yeah,
right?
when the best fight the best, there is no defeat. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So in my point of view, it's just having a good fight, fight good. You know, I worry about how I'm gonna fight and all those stuff. And unlike him, I'm not here like focusing on like the championship, the title. I want some good fight. You know, test myself, take a challenge, and see what I can potentially do. I'm not. I'm aware of the situation. I'm not that young anymore. I still have a couple years. I didn't have those opportunities earlier in my career, so now I'm trying to do what I can possibly do with the amount of time that I have. You know, have the best fight, enjoy all those stuff. That's what matters to me.
In that fight against Tyson Fury, obviously you put Tyson Fury down, the world went crazy. I saw an interview you did recently where you said if you were to put AJ down with the same shot, you don't think AJ gets up.
Yeah, I have a doubt about that. Tyson showed that he's very resilient. I saw him come back from a knockdown that you wouldn't believe that somebody would come down. So I think he's probably one of the most resistant person out there, and that's not a disrespect to AJ. I don't believe that AJ would take what Tyson.
You don't think AJ is resilient? You don't think AJ has a chin?
As much as Tyson.
Who hasn't knocked Tyson down? So many people have knocked Tyson down.
Even going to the fight, I knew that even if I knock him down, I would not get excited. That would not mean anything, because he always come back. So I have to prepare for a very endurance person. Psychologically, that's how I was.
The title of this fight is Knockout Chaos. You guys have seen it, right? It looks like old Street Fighter in terms of how they build it. Do you both expect to get a knockout here? Is that what both of you are built for, knockouts? You did it in the UFC for so many years. You've been doing it in boxing for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
You knock people out, that's what you both do. Is that what we're expecting here?
That's what they want. We'll see.
What do you want?
We'll
Because
see.
I'm looking for, I mean...
You know what it is? People underestimate me a lot. People underestimate me, you know? But no, I'm not saying you, but people, innit?
It's not underestimating you. It's
Your
like
opinion.
Knockout chaos. So...
But who has knocked me out like that, like when I'm like this?
No, that is not what they mean. It's like we both are going to look for a knockout.
That's what I don't think.
Which I don't think is a problem, because I will try to knock out. If I have an opportunity,
same,
I will knock out.
100%.
And I think he will do the same thing. So we'll make the knockout chaos.
AJ, you're the former unified heavyweight champion of the world, right? You are the boxing guy, if you like, in this dynamic. People are going to be expecting you to get the job done here. That's what they're expecting, right? Because of, again, your 2023 was fantastic. Is it a knockout or bust for you?
The knockout, it just comes naturally.
Do you expect to knock out Ngannou?
A giant of Africa once said, life is good.